for two people who have left psychologically, mentally, physiologically. They are ready for it. They are ready to make it work. And they have understood, as the Bible says in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 to 12, that it takes two. So the two of them who are better than one come together, have a good reward for their labor. And when one is going down, when one falls, sometimes one can lose a job, one can make a loss, and the other party helps up. Then they go together in good faith, mutual respect, mutual support for one another. And that is how it should be. And the Bible says, when they lie together, then they have heat. But woe unto him that is alone. How can one be warm alone? So they need each other, and they need to satisfy each other sexually. That is how it should be. I remember listening to Pastor Dr. Ewo of SDA Church. Pastor Dr. Ewo was teaching about marriage, and he made a profound statement. He said, marriage couples don't have sex. They make love. They don't have sex. They make love. Marriage couples. And what does that imply? Men are turned on by what they see. By the time they see some things and there is a move in their body, there has to be a performance by all means. They will have to. A lady takes time. A lady will take time, and it starts from the beginning of the day. So if you're a young man or you're a man who is getting married, or you're married, you need to understand that you are supposed to take your time. If you know you would have to perform at night, it starts from the beginning of the day. You have to be a friend from the beginning of the day. You have to be a friend unto your partner. You don't have to use harsh or negative words and expect that she will be friendly or she will open up to you. She will not. Women start it right from the beginning of the day. You have to create the atmosphere for them. And even when you get in there, she needs a serene atmosphere. A man can just go in there, jump at it, not caring whether the door is closed or not. A lady would want the room, the door locked, want an atmosphere that will not be interrupted. That is how a woman or a lady wants it. And so once we understand the makeup of each one, we will take our time. And that is why it is not for boys and girls. The Bible says, for this cause shall a man. It didn't say a boy. Boys marry for sex. Men, they marry. They marry for value, and they marry to make love. But that is another issue we're going to look at. Now, why do people marry? Some people marry for the wrong reasons. And we need to negate some of these things so that we can enjoy marriage. Why do some people marry? Some people marry for sex. Like I said, boys marry for sex. Now, if it is because of sex you want to marry, you'll be disappointed. You'll be disappointed. There must be love brewing in the heart. Love must be brewed in your heart. And love seeks the highest good of the other person. When you are seeking the highest good of that person, then you will wait till you tie the knot before you get in there and fulfill ordinances, quote unquote. So you take your time and enter in there. So you don't marry for sex. Again, some people marry because others are marrying. Oh, my age mates are marrying. For some of the people, they have uncles and aunties who are sending them dollars, sending them cash, sending them money. They have money. Some even have a house built for them or their father's residence somewhere, and they have it to themselves. And so they see that they have some background. They have a backdrop against which they can say they are going to marry. And you get up and say, well, he's my age mate and he's getting married. I'm also going to get married. How prepared are you? Particularly the men. You have to be prepared psychologically, mentally, financially, economically. You are going to take responsibility of another man's daughter, and you must be prepared to foot the bills. You are prepared. The time comes when it's not going to be that tingling feeling. You will have to The bills will be calling you and you have to pay them. You have to respond to the bills. You have to pay the electricity bills. You have to pay for fuel. You need to buy gas. You need to pay children's school fees. You need to do all these things. And so you need to understand that when others are going, you need to ask yourself, am I ready for it? Am I prepared for it? You take your time and get in there. When you do it at the right time, you will not complain. You will not be frustrated. So that is how it's supposed to be. Now, some people marry because his father did a lot of good to me. So I am marrying him. I'm getting married to him to show gratitude. You will be very disappointed. Marriage should be born out of love. Love for each other. Each other. Love for each other. Not that you owe somebody gratitude and therefore you are going to marry. You are far, far bigger than that. You are too bigger than that. God has placed a premium on your life, a supreme value on you. You cannot marry because you want to be grateful to somebody. No, or a man wants to show gratitude to his colleague and therefore he's giving the daughter into marriage. When the daughter gets in there, the man will not be there to supervise the marriage. The man will not be there to marry for her. The lady should marry of her own accord, her own volition. So we don't marry out of gratitude. We don't marry out of sympathy. You want to show sympathy to the lady. It's like no man is coming her way. It's like there's a problem in the family. Nobody is there to take care of her. So I want to just show sympathy and marry her. That one too is out of place. We don't marry like that. And then again, we don't marry because of money. We don't marry because of financial fortunes. That is a wrong perception. Some ladies, in fact many ladies, marry and their view is to go and make profit. You don't go and marry because you want to make profit. You don't go and marry because you want to earn a fortune. No, you don't go and marry like that. When you do that, it means you don't love the man. You don't love the person. You marry a person. You don't marry a material. You marry a person. You don't marry a property. You marry that man. You don't marry a material. You marry a personality, a person. You don't go and marry fortunes. What about if he loses his job? What about if he's down? What about one day every one of his assets is gone and he's back to square one? Would you still love the person? If it is genuine love, then you still stay and work together and help him out. But if it is because of money, the day that the money is not there, or the day that there is a freeze on his assets, that there's a problem, you will find out that love cannot be bought with money. You will find out that money is not all. And so, beloved, you need to understand that we should have the right reasons for marrying. What are some of the right reasons for marrying? You are married, number one, for companionship. God told Adam, this is your wife. Before then, he said it's not good for the man that he should be alone. Number one, companionship. So you are not married because you want sex. You are not married because you want children. The